I feel as if this is Toni Bryanne TV after dark. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Toni and you're watching Toni Talks TV. This is where you guys see a little bit more of an insight in my life and hear more of girl chat, personal advice, things that I've gone through, vlogs, just who Toni is and all of my different escapades. So today we're going to be talking about my abstinence journey and whether or not this was intentional, unintentional, and where I plan on going. And I'm hoping that this entire video can be super helpful for young women, someone that is now slowly or at the beginning of their mid-20s, which is crazy. I can't believe I'm 24 years old, soon to be 25. What it's like dating and just the relatability of things. I know we all go through very similar things in this dating game, and it is hard out here for a pimp, or lack thereof, should I say. So let's get into it.
I just want to be the breadwinner and buy dinner, then go back to your place.
So if you guys know a little bit about me, a lot of people that I'm friends with can definitely say Toni was outside in terms of dating. I went on a lot of dates, okay? I've gone on so many dates, especially in like my early years. When I was like 19, 20, 21, I kept a date, I kept a boo, and life was great in my head at that time, but it really wasn't, because I think the best part about being 19, 20, and now I look at that now as a positive, is that most of the people you date will not be to your standard or caliber when you hit your mid-20s, hell, even your 30s. Well, not even hell, definitely your 30s. You're not ever going to care to talk to those men when you're older. When I look at my last guys I talked to, OMG. It makes absolutely no sense that I even dated those guys. Like, not to say anything bad about them, but I guess I am kind of saying something bad, but we would never talk today. Like, never, ever, 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 ever. So when those situations ended, I was sad about it, or like disappointed that it didn't work out, but it was all for the best. And one thing I noticed that I did a lot when I was younger, and I still kind of do now, not intentionally ever. Well, maybe a little bit when I was younger. It was a little intentional, but I would date older. You guys probably can see like old videos on my main channel of me discussing like dating older guys and what that experience is like, and like how I don't date older guys anymore, because I quickly like left and let that ship sail. Because as mature as you think you are, or as mature as people say you are, you still have a disadvantage when you're younger than the person you're dating, because you lack life experiences. And that's where a lot of my relationships led to that demise. I don't even want to call it relationships. It was more so not even situationships, but dating partners, should I say. Someone I dated that didn't turn into anything, because one thing about me, like I said, I kept the date. I was always spoiled. I was always taken care of when it came to like the guys I dated. So I never really had to deal with situationships of a man just wanting to hook up, unless I wanted that to happen, if that was the case. But no, your girl was always kept. However, just the way I would handle situations now that I'm older, though a lot of these men had no business talking to a 19, 20-year-old girl, I see how I could have handled situations way differently, and that I think I would handle it now. And to this day, I still do not think that I am fully ready to find my person because of this. I think I still need to work on my own emotional control, on not being so hyper independent, because that's something I'm really struggling with. And that might be because of how quickly my life moved. Like, I have not fully lived in my parents' house for a year. If it weren't for COVID, because COVID I did like in 2021, I lived at my parents' house for an entire year. However, if it weren't for COVID, I wouldn't have lived in my parents' house since I was 18 years old. So I have been out of the house. Once I graduated college, I moved back home for 3 months, and by month 3, I moved halfway across the country, and I've been gone since. Love my parents to death. I did not leave because I hate my parents or we didn't have a good relationship. I left because of a job opportunity, and then I ended up just staying anyway. So I'm like, okay, that job opportunity was in Savannah. I'm not too far from Atlanta. I've always wanted to live in Atlanta. Being the Black Mecca, I might as well stay. And I've been here for almost 2 years now, which is insane and just shows how much time flies. But that is definitely one thing I struggle with, is hyper independence. I'm trying to work on that because it's not going to be helpful in the long run. But I say that all to say, here we are in 2025, and I would say personally chosen to be very, very selective of who I date and how I respond to situations. And it might be because my frontal lobe is finally forming, but it has been the greatest yet kind of disappointing time in my life. I feel so good that I'm putting myself first. I feel so good about where I am in life. I'm so happy with my career. I'm happy with it, but I think that things can be better. Like I want more, but I'm very happy with my friendships, my social life. I do want to build a better relationship with God. So this isn't because of God why I've chosen to be abstinent in 2025. I definitely can do better at that, and I'm working on that. I'm trying to juggle between that, but mentally this has been the happiest I've been within the past 3 years, because I definitely went through a very dark chapter in my life, like from 21, well, I'll say 22 to 24. It was 22 to 23, excuse me, because I'm 24 now. It was a pretty rough time with like discovering myself and mental health and how to get over things that you need to get over when it's not that deep. But I'm in a very good place, and I think this is like the foundational stage of me prepping to find a good partner. I'll be 25 in 6 months, so that probably plays a part too. And I really feel like every year I say I'm gonna find my person, like it's this year, it's definitely gonna happen. But I definitely feel like now, because I'm working on me, I'll find that person. But that's not like even like the basis of conversation in this video. I'm not seeking a husband or a partner right now. I think I'm just focused on who I am. So let's go into the reasons why I've chosen to be abstinent. So I was dating this guy last year we weren't even like really dating long, which is crazy, but I ended up like really liking him. Why? I don't know. It's not like he was a bad guy. He was never a bad person. I feel like he kind of like wasted my time a little bit because he knew what I wanted in a partner, and then he basically had that lead to nothing when I feel like he felt like he couldn't equally match my level in terms of the things that I wanted in a partner or the things that I expected. And it's nothing with monetary reasons. I just like quality time. I'm not clingy by any means. Like I'm very happy for you to leave, but I want to feel as if you value me as a person, you value my company. And if I don't feel that way, I'm leaving. Okay. To be really honest, that's just how I am. I just get it hurts my feelings a little bit because I feel like I want to feel valued. Anyways, so with him, I don't know how in the heck that situation turned into like 6 months of us like still being in contact. Well, not even 9 months. 9 months of us still being in contact, still like hanging out like every few months, and temporary forevers and temporary promises. And it really messed with my brain, and it annoyed me because I knew who I was as a woman and what I bring to this imaginary table that everybody always talks about. But I knew the qualifications I had as a woman. And someone like him, who I felt as if y'all saw him, he's not an ugly man by any means, but just like by like criteria wise, looks wise, it was like confusing that to me, it felt like he was treating me like an option, when to me, I feel like I should be treated as the standard. Okay. And that gave me the biggest ick, and it like kind of disgusted me, but it also made me kind of question my own worth. Am I really that good of a woman that I think I am? Am I really as qualified? Am I really deserving of a partner? And when you start thinking like that, that's when you know you need to go. And that's when I think you need a break from dating. And that's exactly what I did. Cardi B actually says it in the song. She said, you have me questioning, what's that song called? The only man nigga I adore. Wait, I adore. Be careful. Yeah. Be careful, Cardi B lyrics. She says this one line, I'm trying to find it. She says, you even got me tripping. You got me looking in the mirror different, thinking I'm flawed because you inconsistent. And that line, Cardi. Every woman I'm sure has felt that way before, because I feel as if we put men on this like pedestal because we're just loving individuals. And this is why I always say, I feel like men should be with men and women should be with women at this point, because we just don't, it seems like we're not equally yoked in the way that we have feelings for people. But like, you can be everything, the perfect package bow, and a man still will not see that value in you. And when I started feeling that way, when I tell you I hit that block button so quick, I blocked him on every single thing. And though I still do like care for him, like I don't know why, I don't get this attachment that I have to this man. I genuinely do not understand what this attachment is to him, but I care about him. And maybe because I haven't really talked to anybody seriously in months, so maybe that's why. But from that, he was confused why I blocked him. The only reason why I know that is because he contacted my sister, and she told me that he contacted her. But even then, like, I was feeling so guilty when she told me, like, oh, he reached out to me about like you blocking him, and I like felt like I owed him something. But it's like, no, you owe this man absolutely nothing, because he gives you nothing. The only time now he seems to care a little bit about you is when you block him. And I was like, I don't want that. That is such an unhealthy attachment, something that I do not want for me. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for my daughter. I don't want my daughters to see that growing up. Not saying he was going to be my husband, but the men that you date will lead you to the type of man that you marry. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I think every relationship that you have should be treated as a lesson. Whether it's good or bad, you should be learning from each person. And if you keep accepting the bare minimum or keep accepting things that you don't think are good for you, I just feel as if you're going to continue accepting that later on in your new relationships as you get older. So that was like difficult for me to block him because, you know, I don't know why. It just was. I think it was just this attachment I had to him. And I also believe that when you are intimate with any person that you're with, so that all connects to the celibacy journey, because I feel as if when you're intimate with an individual, there's an unhealthy attachment that is attached to that person. You're giving yourself to that person. And when you do that, you end up caring for this person more than you technically would if you never did anything with them. So that's why I am abstinent now, because I just don't think that a lot of men are deserving of something so precious. I'm not going to say there's a beauty in virginity, because I don't really believe with that. When it comes to the Bible, people were getting married at like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I do think at that point you should be saving yourself until marriage. However, we're in a way different society than what was in the Bible. So I think things are a little bit different. Like, people aren't getting married until they're in their 30s. But I think our sexual desires, let me actually look that up before I am wrong. Hold on. Yeah, so sexual desires are typically between the ages of 9 and 15. And that's when people start getting sexually attracted to someone, or I don't want to say sexually attracted because it's children, but they're attracted to an individual. So with that being said, when those desires start happening, if the Bible was created in this time frame for us to be living with these desires for 15 plus years, I don't know. I didn't write the Bible. I do identify as a Christian, but that's just my own personal belief. But regardless of that, I still think that what we have is precious as women, and we need to keep it for men as long as possible. The reason why so many people are in these baby mama, baby daddy situations, or have very unhealthy attachments to people, or in situationships, is because we are not prolonging sex. I think sex should definitely be prolonged. And given the fact that I have been doing a phenomenal job at doing so, I have gone a year without being intimate with anybody. It's not hard for me. Like, it's so funny because people think like I'm probably out here doing this, that, and the third because I have my own apartment and I've been living on my own for years, but I don't really do much like at all. And if I ever do anything with anybody, it's because that is like my sole person that we're dating. He's taking me out on dates. He's shown interest. He's expressed that interest. He's shown some effort, and then whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? But I've never just given it up. That's that's not like me. However, in being intimate with a man, you will get this idea of this fairy tale ending, and that's what I kept getting. I romanticized every man I dated. Even if we went on one date, I was like, oh my God, what if we had kids? What if we got married? And not like in a creepy way, not in a hood away from Love Island, which we'll get into that in just a second. But it was in a way that I felt like every man was of value when a lot of them are not. I think that when you are dating, you should just really have fun with it. And if you guys match, you match. 99.9% of the men or women you go on dates with are not going to be your person. So as women, because I think women primarily do this, we have to stop attaching this fairy tale ending to every person we date, because a lot of the people that we are going on dates with are not going to be your forever person. And they are just either a lesson or just a good time, or you guys were meant to meet in that moment, and that is it, and that is all. And we need to stop romanticizing the idea that it is going to be more than that. And that's what I learned that I needed to do, because I was overly spending time with people that were not at my level. And then lastly, I noticed that I was seeking validation in men. And I would never think that, because I'm a very confident woman. I will label myself as such. I find myself to be beautiful. I find myself to be talented. I find myself to be educated. I have all these great qualifications. However, I feel as if, and I kind of mentioned this in the last guy I dated, but I kind of want a man to see that back. back. I want him to look at me and be like, wow, like Toni, you are worthy. And in doing that, the men that would kind of see like my worthiness that I knew were not at my level or at my speed, should I say, I was ending up spending more time with them than I needed to. And that's how you end up in situations that you later on regret, okay? Learn from Toni Bryanne TV. So in doing that, I'd be doing things that I would never ever do because I was like, oh, okay, like he likes me, he sees the value in me, like I might as well hang out with him and we're good, we're happy. But then I'm like, wait, why was I even spending time with this man? Like I would never talk to him in a million years. But it's because I was just like, okay, well, he sees that I'm of value, so I mean, I guess I should date him. I don't think that's like as severe because I was, like I said, 19, 20, 21. And I think that's when you start learning, when you actually are actively dating. That's why I encourage dating for every woman. Please go out and date a little bit, but you have to learn those lessons because if you don't, you're going to learn those lessons at 30 and it's not as cute when you learned at 30 and it's not as funny. Okay. But I learned that very, very quickly that I was like seeking validation. I also told my therapist that I was like, I feel like I like yearn for men's attention when they're not showing that. And I think that's very toxic. And we were talking about like, why do I feel that way? And I'm like, I don't know. I come from a 2-parent household. My dad's very active. My mother is very active in my life. My mom talks to me about a variety of different things. Like I talk to my parents about literally everything, especially my mom. Like my mom, she knows a lot about me. My sister, she knows everything. Like literally, she knows everything. Because there's some things you can't tell your mom that I can't tell my sister. But I have these people to talk to. I have these outlets. So why in the heck am I seeking that validation in a man? Like what is that about? But I think it's because when you see that you're everything on paper from what people say you should be, and it's just not working out, you just kind of take what you can get. And I think that is a scarcity mindset, and that's something that I did not want. Okay? And I still do not want. And then the next reason why I am on this journey, because let's celebrate 6 months. 6 months of abstinence. Is because I personally want to test myself and my limits and my strengths on how long I can go. There's no like timeline. I know some people are like waiting until marriage. Some people are waiting until this is their boyfriend. I don't necessarily have like an exact moment that I'm waiting for. Like this isn't for like religious reasons. This isn't because I have been intimate with a billion men. Not even the case. This is more so for me to get to know somebody and that person I'm getting to know me and us know each other without that thing that blurs the lines, okay? I feel like a lot of people that are in relationships are only in relationships because of their intimacy. It's not because they actually like each other. They're intimate sexually, should I say, like penetration, if you get what I mean, because there's different types of intimacy, and that's the only thing they have in common. And that's not something that I want. I want to be in a very healthy and happy, loving relationship, and you know me outside of that. Because we all know as we get older, like we're grown, okay? I'm about to be 25. People have sex, people date, people do all the things, okay? Let's be real. So this is just a real honest and transparent conversation. And when you are dating somebody, you are probably going to want to take it to that level. But before I even get to that point, I want to work on Toni. I want to work on Toni's career. There's so many different things and moving parts of my career that I really want to tackle and get through and that I want to feel more confident in. So I'm taking my time and I just want to see how long I can go. And I honestly think that's like the best way to go about it because some people that are religious, they feel kind of like forced to do it. So I think that takes away and defeats the purpose because it's not a genuine reason as to why they want to be celibate or why they want to be abstinent. I think it needs to be a you versus you thing or even a you versus God thing in that case, but it's because you want to do it, not because someone else is telling you to do it. I feel like once you break that barrier, you are going to be unstoppable. So that is my little testimony on being abstinent and choosing me versus choosing men. I am very curious if you guys will ever meet a partner I have on here. I have not shown a boyfriend on my YouTube channel since I was like, what, 18 or 19? Probably 19, so it's been years. And it would have to be probably my fiance or my husband. I don't know when I'm gonna meet the one. I am chilling until then. I'm okay. I'm honestly just genuinely happy with where I am in life. I feel very good. But it would be nice if I met that special somebody and we get to the point where he's sitting next to me and we're making content or I'm doing a video talking about marriage or being engaged or dating. I don't know. I kind of want to keep it private, but who knows? If I'm that secure in my relationship, I probably will show that person. Who knows? But we'll see. I don't know. I think that as of now, I'm just focused on Toni and I cannot wait to see all that I do. And that is a little bit bit about my journey in being abstinent. I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below on your abstinence journey. Are you guys celibate? Are you testing you and your partner's relationship by not having any sex, though you guys already did? Let's get the conversation going on in the comments down below because I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel and also subscribe to all my other channels. I have my main channel, Toni Bryanne TV, my podcast, The Decision Podcast, the Toni Bryanne TV podcast, and then also this channel. I love and I appreciate you guys so much, and I cannot wait to chat with you guys in the comments. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.